Hi everybody! Welcome back to Tips for You. Today I want to talk to you about how to get rid of head lice. I know it's an upsetting topic and it kind of makes you feel itchy just thinking about it. But when somebody gets it in your family, you just don't know where to turn sometimes. So I want to give you some tips on how you can eradicate the situation so that you don't get reinfestations, which is the most common problem. You think you got rid of them, and then they're not gone. And you keep getting them and getting them. I had one girl wrote me, she's been suffering with it for 5 months, and that's a very long time to be suffering with something as upsetting as head lice. I mean, it's itchy. Sometimes the scratching that you do can infect your scalp because you open, little areas of your scalp and they're bleeding, and so you want to take care of it as quickly as possible. I'm going to share with you 2 ways. One is the most common way, and it involves buying over-the-counter products or medications prescribed by your doctor. And then I have one that's more of a non-insecticidal way, which is a more natural and more healthy way. And you can decide what you'd like to do. So let's talk about, first of all, what they look like and how you find them. The first thing that may tip you off is that your child says that their head is itchy. So you look at the scalp. It's very hard to find the lice. They are difficult to be spotted, but you have to keep looking and looking and you'll finally find them. But you're more likely to find the eggs, which are called nits. Now the lice themselves look like little sesame seeds. Like they're kind of translucent-y somewhat. They can be tan or gray, and they don't fly. They don't have any wings, and they're very quick, and they just crawl on your head, and they like to hide. So it's hard to find them. The nits can be yellowish, they can be tan, or they can be whitish. And I never knew that. But they can be tannish, like a brownish kind of color. So if you're looking for something white on your child's hair, that's how it's often missed. Now, how do you know if it's dandruff, right? You're asking yourself, gee, I see all these little white things. How do I know if they're nits or if it's just the natural dandruff? Or something called deck plugs. Deck plugs are something that we have little pores, hair follicles on our scalps, and it makes a little bit of oil. We always talk about hair oil is good for our hair. Well, it produces a little sebum and it kind of blocks the pore a little. Well, that little deck plug, it's called, usually falls off. It falls off the hair follicle, and you can see them in your hair sometimes. They look like little round white things. The trick is, if it comes out and it moves down the hair, like you can move it right down your hair, then it's either dandruff or what I just told you, these deck plugs. But if they don't move and they're stuck to the hair, usually they're close to the scalp, and the most common place is right around the hairline, here at the temples, under behind the neck, and then again, close to the scalp is where you lift up the hair and you go close to the scalp because they need the warmth. That helps incubate them so that then they can hatch into lice. So now that was the nits. Nits look like small little, almost like you're looking at like a little tiny little brown thing stuck to your hair, and it's hard to move them. So if you try to move them down the hair shaft, you can't. They have a special little glue that keeps them right on the hair shaft where they need to be. They're all designed to survive. So now you know what the lice look like, little sesame seeds, and you know what the nits look like. Now you've got to start looking.